Browns take on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. The Buccaneers take on the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans for the third time this season on Sunday. Oh, I feel like it was supposed to be Brady and Breeze. It was supposed to be the Browns, the Bills, and the playoffs. What up, Taki?
How about Sione Taki of the Cleveland Browns from BYU? Did the Browns have a night? Was that any good?
I'm a Porter Gustin guy.
How about Porter Gustin, Peter?
I'm a Mike Robinson gal. Hi.
How you guys doing?
Thank you for being here. Yeah, Nate Burleson, of course, was in the booth for the Saints and the Bears. We'll get to that highlight in a bit. Our show brought to you by Truist this morning. Let's get to highlights.
Ravens, Titans, let's get to it. The last time Derrick Henry faced the Ravens, he walked them off in overtime. The time before that, he spun around Earl Thomas and got memed into oblivion. What's he going to do this time? Mike's laughing. He remembers. Lamar, 10-3, you're losing. You're down 10-0, and then he just takes off. Oh, my gosh, like a Lamborghini.
Everybody misses on the defense. Everybody.
You think you're ready for the speed, and then it's blowing right by you. This was the biggest comeback of Lamar's career. 10-0. That's just a 10-point comeback. But sometimes you think the Ravens, if they get down, they're not equipped to come back. Well, they did. 10-10. This is Ravens football right here. J.K. Dobbins, touchdown. There was so much chirping, so much flexing in this game. We already talked about what happened afterwards with dancing on the logo and no handshakes. It was that kind of game. Peter, you talk about it all the time, the sort of Ray Lewis versus Eddie George. And this was the guy in the Eddie George role. Eddie never went over 2,000. Derrick did, and he did not get over what felt like a half a dozen in this game. I mean it. We love Derrick Henry here. The Ravens swarmed him. He was wearing Ravens all day. Even here, you think this is a great improv by Tannehill. Bam! Two guys all over Derrick Henry. He did not get going. He did not get off, but they kept trying to get him going. Vrabel et al. Vrabel made a couple bad decisions late in the game, too. There was another punt that nobody liked, and down 20-13. This is what Marcus Peters does. He came out of the womb intercepting passes in big games. He will leave this world intercepting passes in big games.
You know what? Corey Davis went down with an injury, and they couldn't just force it to A.J. Brown, and Khalif Raymond slips, and that's what happens.
Absolutely. Marlon Humphrey said afterwards it was not my best day. A.J. Brown worked him a little bit, but they picked it up. He will play next week, and here's Lamar making sure of that. Bam, right up the middle. High step, and down. Look at the sideline. Peter pointed out earlier, guys in the purple pants going absolutely nuts. And so is Lamar, as he should. First playoff win of his career. He is now 1-2, but as far as this season goes, he is 1-0 in the post. Look at him and Peters, amped up, guys. The whole Ravens sideline is ready. You do not want to play Baltimore right now. Lots of luck with this, Buffalo. Our guy, Steve Smith Sr., caught up with Lamar after his first playoff win.
How big was that win for you personally and also for the team?
It was a huge win, just for myself, just how people been talking about, he can't do it in the playoffs and stuff like that. But I really don't care about it personally. But it was just a great all-around team win. All phases just performed well. Even when I threw the interception and stuff like that, we didn't shy away from, still competing. It was adversity then. I know people was talking about it then, like, it might be the same results as the last 2 years. But my team kept fighting, and we just came out with victory. So hats off to the whole team.
Lamar gets his first playoff win. Congratulations to him, to the Ravens, to their fans. He gets rewarded with a trip to Buffalo. Mike Rob, to take on those red-hot Bills. Josh Allen may be the best player in the entire tournament all weekend long. What did you make of this defeat of the Titans, who beat them twice?
Yeah, they beat them. Who beat them twice? They controlled the line of scrimmage. Baltimore did on both sides of the football. Brandon Williams, defensive tackle for the Baltimore Ravens. Calais Campbell, who was the free agent acquisition this past offseason. They literally took this game under control. Right? Derrick Henry couldn't get going. They got penetration. They stopped him before he got going toward the line of scrimmage, and they bottled him up. And then offensively, Greg Roman stuck to the script, guys. Last year, you saw when Tennessee beat him in the playoffs. They threw the ball almost 60 times with Lamar Jackson when they got behind, right? This year they got behind, and Greg Roman continued to run the football. Yeah. They got behind. He continued to run the football. Yeah. They got closer. He continued to run the football, and Lamar Jackson had over 100 yards rushing and over 150 yards passing. That's what this offense is all about. It's playing 11-on-11 football, 11-on-11 one-on-ones across the football field, and the best player on the football field being the Baltimore Ravens quarterback, and you're not going to have a guy to be able to stop him. I still think Lamar's going to have to beat a team with his arm from the pocket.
Is that going to work against the Bills?
Is over. Well, that remains to be seen, but I will tell you this. The Buffalo Bills offense can score, and they score at such a rate that that Greg Roman's offensive game plan is gonna be tested this week. It's gonna be tested if he can stick to the script, stay doing and calling the plays that Lamar Jackson does best. If they get into a shootout with Josh Allen and Brian Daboll and those guys, I think the Baltimore Ravens will be going home with a loss.
Yeah. And that's okay. They know they can't win that. Maybe they can win that game. They beat the Browns that way, but they know that's not their game.
That's not their style.
Their game is winning this way. Look, the Texans put up 35 points on the Titans last week.
They did.
The Ravens put up 20. We're doing flips about the Ravens offense. That's not how they play. What they do is they control the clock, they run the ball, and they just will bully you in the trenches. Derrick Henry just ran for 2,000 yards. Lamar Jackson had 96 more rushing yards than Derrick Henry yesterday. 96
That's
more rushing
crazy,
yards.
Man.
Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator for the Titans, is going to be interviewing for every head coaching vacancy this week.
What about Wink?
Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, has no interview opportunities. No one has invited him to get an interview. You tell me, which offensive or defensive unit outplayed the other yesterday? And I'll end on this. Vrabel, the Titans, they're such tough guys. They're such bullies. That's what they want to do. They've got this 2,000-yard rusher. We're going to be this. A.J. Brown's flexing every time. 4th and 2. Down 4 on your opponent's 40 in the fourth quarter, and out comes the punter. What are you about? It seems like that one right
Let's go, Shriggs.
4th and 2, down 4 in a playoff game with a 2,000-yard rusher in the fourth quarter at the opponent's 40, and you're punting.
Maybe he saw something.
Hey.
Maybe he saw that his team wasn't playing today.
You know, they'll be watching a lot of football next week. I would give the ball to the guy. And if that guy wants it, demand the ball. Derrick Henry, outrushed by 96 yards by a quarterback yesterday, and that was the story of the game.
Derrick Henry is not a demand-the-ball type guy. We know that. And I think to answer your questions, Mike Vrabel's looking at it and is like, we're not going to get this. We are not going to get it. 18 carries for Derrick Henry. His longest run was 8 yards. We're going to talk about Lamar all week, maybe all month.